Welcome into WagerTalk TV. I am joined by Dave Koken and Ralph Michaels from WagerTalk.com. We're talking the Miami Hurricanes versus the Clemson Tigers Saturday night, 7:30 Eastern kick on ABC. Ralph, coming to you first. We got Miami catching 2 touchdowns in Clemson, 63.5 being the total. What are you thinking in this ACC matchup?
Well, we're looking at a highly ranked Hurricanes team. How can you give them 2 touchdowns? They dominated Florida State. They took care of Louisville. They blew out UAB. You have Clemson that couldn't cover against Wake Forest, couldn't cover against the Citadel, couldn't cover against Virginia. All of that lines up for me saying it's BS. It's a wolf in sheep's clothing. I am looking at Dabo Swinney and going, he is just watering at the mouth. He talked in his press conference. Oh, my God, Virginia's quarterback, Brennan Armstrong, ran 22 times, 88 yards, ran all over us. If he can do that, how can the mobile quarterback, De'Ara King, do that? Well, I think Clemson has done this. They've just shown enough to win 3 games. They were never tested. They never had to be tested. You have Armstrong at home going, oh, my God, De'Ara King, he basically has won the Heisman already. People forget about me. You have Miami. In the last 3 years, the best or the strongest road game Miami has gone to face was Pittsburgh. They've been a 4.5-point dog. They haven't played anybody on the road. There's going to be 20+ thousand people. Clemson has a favorite of 20 or less, 14-5-2 against the spread. Clemson's just sitting here. Miami's getting all the love. Miami's believing that they're this AP top 10 team, which they're only there because of other teams not getting voted from those non-conferences. Clemson takes care of business. What I am going to do for the video, though, is I am going to actually use it as a best bet and use out Clemson in the first half. When Clemson is a favorite of 20 or less, average score for the first half for them, 20.9 points scored, 7.4 points allowed. Obviously, with a margin of 14.5 points per game, you're going to be laying the 8 or 8.5 in the first half. I think they are ready to play. I think they punch Miami in the mouth. I think the stage is going to be too big for the Hurricanes. Granted, headed in the right direction, but not this Saturday night.
All right, looking towards the number 1 team in the country in the first half on Saturday night. Dave, coming to you. What do you think? Is the U back?
I talked about this game with Joe Ranieri on the early edge because this is a game that fits the profile of a game that I will stay away from, but I'll explain why. The way I power rate, I've got a fast power rating and a slow power rating. Kind of picked this up from Jim Feist many, many years ago and have used it ever since. The slow power rating is the power rating that I make at the start of the season with adjustments made on an incremental basis. And it's a very slow-moving, fluid, but slow-moving rating. So in other words, even if a team has a great game, it's not like I adjust them 7 points or something like that. That's not the way it happens. The other power rating is a fast power rating, which is based on recency, only on what they've done basically over the last 2 to 3 games. And in this instance, the slow power rating, which is the season long, clearly favors Clemson. But the fast power rating, and you can make all the arguments you want, well, Clemson hasn't taken the game seriously so far, and Miami's played, really well against lesser opponents. Be that as it may, the fast power ratings make this a lot closer game than the slow power ratings. Miami's playing really good football. And I don't know whether it's real or not. I think we'll find out more in this game. What I can tell you is this. Miami has the elements of what might be a legit top 10 team. They have got tremendous speed, especially on the edges. I mean, they are fast on both offense and defense. It's a different type of Miami personnel that we've seen the last few years. They had some skilled guys, but not like this level. Diaz has brought in some tremendous young talent, and they are performing well and with confidence. Clemson's still better, but I don't know that they're that much better. And this game might turn out to be closer than some people think. There's no possibility I'll play Miami plus the points because I tend to trust my slow power ratings more than my fast, but my fast power ratings are going to keep me from making a play on Clemson in this game.
Good stuff, Dave.
Hey, Drew.
And, Ralph, yeah, go. Go ahead.
I want to jump into you. You and I talk Miami all the time. I want you in this conversation as well as the third person, and tell us your Canes thought. You being a South Florida person, going home a couple times a year. Tell us, are they real or not?
Well, it's interesting you ask. I'm coming to you from South Florida right now. Unfortunately, my grandpa passed away, had to come across country. But I will say this about the Miami side. Coming off of a bye week, Brett Lashley as their offensive coordinator, he was, the understudy for Gus Malzahn. And one thing about betting Gus Malzahn was he was great off of a bye week. So I think that's something interesting to see because Clemson is going to see some plays that they haven't seen on film before. Lashley's going to dial them up here. I would look for a couple big plays from the Miami side, but like Dave was talking about, 14 points in today's college football isn't all that much, especially when you're talking about the top echelon of college football, which is Clemson right now, all due respect to Alabama. So I just think it's really tough to be taking the points with Miami, although I could see Miami, having a puncher's chance here in Clemson.
Yeah, one other thing to mention here, and I think this is going to be a really big key in the game. As good as Miami's looked, they still have occasional problems with on-field discipline, and they can take some bad penalties.
Sure.
If that becomes a factor in this game, if they take a couple of needless penalties that either stuff drives or extend Clemson drives, then that could get this game out of hand. They need to play with discipline on Saturday. I know they haven't they've played great so far, but that's an area that I'm still concerned about with the Hurricanes.
Good point there, Dave. And yeah, you talk about playing disciplined in the quarterback offensive coordinator match. I think it works for Miami. I think they got a shot here, Ralph, but I don't know. 14 points isn't that steep. But either way, guys, great video. Make sure to check out Ralph and Dave both at WagerTalk.com. And always remember, Mondays, each and every Monday, every play discounted to just $9 at both WagerTalk and SportsMemo.com.